Today I'm going to be ranking the most well-known business models for generating passive income. I've talked with hundreds, if not thousands of individuals who already own these types of businesses, or maybe they're exploring them to generate themselves some passive income and potentially escape the W-2 grind. Myself, I've been running Ecom Accelerator for over 2 years now, and I'm going to include this as one of the business models we're going to take a look at today. We've helped over 200 people start making mostly hands-off income via our managed e-commerce stores, primarily on eBay as well as Walmart.com. Let's see how this business model here at Ecom Accelerator compares to the more traditional options, everything from real estate to car washes to laundromats and more. First up, we've got restaurant. Restaurant. I'm gonna put this in C tier. My parents actually owned a catering company, not a restaurant exactly, but similar. Extremely long hours, low margins, high competition, and you gotta deal with a ton of employees. Every time I go and see a well-run restaurant, I'm just amazed at how coordinated everything is, how much work it takes, managing all the suppliers, and of course, food is very perishable. So you can definitely succeed if you run a really, really good restaurant, but not the easiest for sure. Retail stores. Retail. Retail may be similar to restaurants, but I'm actually gonna rank this as D tier. Sorry guys. I know you can make a lot of money in retail, but for the reason that it is consistently dying. Unless you run a really specialty niche or have some really cool concept, retail has been dying, especially since COVID, in 2020. For that reason, I'm gonna have to go D tier. You also, again, have all the employees to manage. You need the physical space, and you gotta buy all the inventory, right? You can't sell anything unless you have it. Franchises. Franchises can be great. I'm gonna put franchises in a B tier. You are tapping into a proven system. Someone has already proven that this business model works. They set you up with kind of all the tools you need to succeed. However, the one main downside I'm gonna say with franchises is oftentimes, if you're already working a job, a franchise is kind of just like another job. If you want to own a Chick-fil-A, a McDonald's, a Subway, you're going to have to put in your own time to actually manage that location. Plus, it costs a lot of money. So definitely can't succeed here. The other thing I don't really like about franchises, oftentimes how they're written is you're actually never really fully the owner of the business, right? The franchisor is. And franchises love taking revenue share. Everything we do here at Ecom Accelerator, it's built on profit share, right? We only care about the bottom line, how much money is actually going in your pocket. Franchises, often it's written for revenue share. Even if you're losing money, you might get, salt on the wound, and they're gonna charge you even more money just to be part of that system. Next up, we've got drop shipping in the traditional sense. Most people, whenever you think of drop shipping, it's, hey, let's go research, find a cool product that's trendy that I can advertise on Facebook or Instagram, drive traffic to this simple website, simple page, obviously fulfill the orders on demand. Traditional drop shipping, it can work, but again, it's a much different market than it was in maybe 2016, 2017, mostly because the ad fees have gone up tremendously on Facebook, and there's a lot more competition, right? If you want to get someone's attention, you need to create a brilliant piece of media, of marketing, whether it's UGC content, organic content, or something your marketing team actually creates. Dropshipping is really just a fulfillment model. This model still works, but in the traditional sense, it's a lot harder to succeed than it was maybe 10 years ago. I was actually doing it then, so I have some experience, and yeah, mainly due to the increase in cost of third-party marketing, right, it's gonna go in my B tier. Still works, but you gotta be really good at it to succeed with all the competition costs. Next up, we've got crypto. So crypto, not really a business model. As an investment, I'm gonna put it in A tier. However, it's not really a cash flow type business. There's ways you can cash flow from crypto, but it's gonna take some kind of deep industry knowledge, right, with different DeFi projects and whatnot. So I'm a big believer in crypto. I think it is the future. 10-year investment, amazing. Current business model for generating cash flow, really tough. I know there's people that do different things in crypto, whether you're maybe launching your own project. Again, that's kind of a full-time endeavor with a lot of technical knowledge required. Some people are trading, right? I'm gonna go into trading in just a moment. Affiliate marketing next. Oof. I'm gonna put affiliate marketing in the C tier. There are people that make a absolute killing on affiliate marketing, but they usually already have a large following. They usually have a large presence on social media, maybe hundreds of thousands of real followers, right? Maybe even millions. Kendall Jenner, she's making a lot of money on affiliate marketing. However, for the average person, it is an absolute grind. It is so much work. Again, it's really about driving traffic to your link, to your page, etc. And the average person just doesn't have the time, the experience, the fame to do this, right? So for the average person, I'm gonna put this in C tier. It doesn't cost any money, right? But it does cost a lot of time and a lot of knowledge. Trading, well, obviously we've all seen on the internet those people, those kids that make a ton of money trading, but you can look up the statistics about, I think it's something like 99% of folks lose money who trade. For that reason alone, I'm gonna have to put it in the D tier. If you are an individual and you wanna trade, congratulations. You are fighting against supercomputers, algorithms from the biggest banks, the biggest players in the world who control trillions of dollars. Yes, you can win some, but the majority of the time you are going to lose. If you wanna dedicate 8 hours a day for the next 2 years, have at it. Again, there are people that are very, very successful at this, but it is extremely difficult with a very low chance of success, whether that's stocks, options, crypto, futures, whatever you're trading. Good luck. You need extreme emotional control, extreme discipline, and you're gonna really have to dedicate a lot of time to learn how the markets work. And again, you're gonna have to beat the biggest players in the space that control trillions of dollars of assets. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to put it in the D tier. Real estate is fantastic. Who doesn't love real estate? Of course, a lot of people get wealthy from real estate. As an investment, I think I'm gonna put it in the A tier with the caveat that timing and the market you're in is everything. If you bought in South Florida 5 years ago, congratulations, you at least doubled your money. Hopefully you were maybe renting that property out, even if you own it yourself, you still doubled your money just in capital appreciation. In terms of cash flow, I'm not gonna rank it nearly as high. The cash flow for real estate is quite low for traditional rentals. Obviously interest rates, they're not terrible now, but with the cost of real estate, how expensive it is, and almost anywhere that I know of in this country, compared to the rent prices, you're not gonna make a huge amount of cash flow. A tier for wealth building, maybe C tier or even D tier for cash flow. Obviously, a lot of people have made a lot of money in real estate. So again, fantastic long-term investment, but in terms of business models, in terms of cash flow, I would rank it much lower. Car washes, interesting one here. I don't have a ton of experience with car washes, but I know it's a popular business model. I know a few people who own them that are relatively passive. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Again, I think it's gonna be dependent upon the deal you actually get for that location of a car wash. Again, there's a lot of people that run car washes very profitably, don't spend a huge amount of time. They can be pretty hands-off, maybe just a few employees to manage it. Today, a lot of stuff is automated. So again, I'm gonna put this in B tier, depending upon the location and the actual deal you get. If you overpay, right, or you get maybe a loan from the actual owner, maybe you're losing money, certainly possible. But if you have a well-run car wash in the right location, absolutely great business model. E-com accelerator, managed dropshipping stores. In terms of actual time spent on this business, actual capital required, and the potential it can generate, I'm gonna put this as S tier. I'm obviously a little bit biased, of course, but I just don't see many opportunities where you can put $30,000, $40,000 in and generate, $3, $4, $5 grand a month after some time. Of course, every business is unique. We can't guarantee results, but our team has been doing this for over 8 years. Watch some of our case study videos, watch some of our store walkthroughs, take a look at some of the results we've produced. I think it's an absolutely amazing deal. You're not gonna get rich overnight, but in terms of long-term cash flow, with very, very little time spent and not much capital allocated, especially compared to some of these other options that we've already gone through, I'm gonna put it in S tier. ATM machines. I actually have a few clients of ours that own some ATM machines. I think I'm gonna put this in B tier. ATM machines make money, right? They're charging a fee, you own the machine. That fee is gonna be pure profit. Obviously there's some operating expenses, but the folks that I know that own these had to put in a few $100,000, and the monthly cash flow, it's nothing insane. I think the time to ROI was about 3 to 4 years. So very consistent business model. I'm a huge fan of cash myself. I don't think we should stop using it, but it is quite capital intensive, and you're gonna need someone to go and collect the money, right? You're gonna need someone to go and actually manage those machines, so you do have a little bit of employee oversight. So very similar. To round it off, we've got laundromats, the most classic #1 business model for people that want passive income. Again, I'm gonna put this in A tier depending upon the deal you get. If you Google what businesses don't take much time and produce cash flow, laundromats are always up there. Again, I think it's gonna be heavily dependent upon the deal you're actually getting. You know, what are the washers like? How much is water usage? How much is electricity? How much are people paying? Do you have to upgrade the machines, etc.? But a well-run laundromat, fantastic business. So I'm gonna put it in A tier, but it's highly dependent upon the deal you get, right? Every single location is gonna be different. However, as a business model, very solid. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions, or if you disagree, comment below. I want to hear what you have to say. If you're a successful trader, let me know. I've been trying to find one. If you own a successful retail business, I've spoken to many before. Let me know how you're doing it. Same thing with any of these other business models. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions. If you disagree, I'd love to have a conversation.